You settle into the gentle sway of the cosmos, letting the weight of the world behind you dissolve like mist. Inhale. Exhale. The rhythm of your breath mirrors the slow, rolling motion of waves across a vast, starlit ocean. The horizon stretches endlessly, painted in soft gradients of lilac and amber, the faint glow of faraway suns brushing your skin like a warm whisper. A hush hangs everywhere, the kind that presses lightly against your ears, a lullaby carried by light itself. You notice the tiniest quivers, the delicate ripples of energy that flutter across the vast water of space. Each ripple is a particle, a wave, a gentle push and pull that you can almost taste, almost hear if you tilt your attention toward the quiet. There is matter here, yes, solid and present, the kind that forms stars and planets, warmth and gravity. And there is antimatter, subtle and fleeting, like the shadow of a wave trailing a heartbeat behind. You smile softly. Sometimes it feels as if the universe itself is playing peekaboo, hiding just long enough to keep things interesting. Your fingers skim the invisible surface of this cosmic ocean. It's cooler than the warmth of starlight on your cheeks, but not cold like dipping toes into a tide at the edge of dawn. Tiny flashes spark where particles and antiparticles brush against one another, and you watch with quiet wonder. Each encounter is a kiss of energy, a soft pop of light that blooms and then fades, leaving only the echo of itself behind. You inhale again, feeling the slow rise of your chest, the warmth of your lungs, the gentle pull of gravity's memory on your bones. Exhale. Let go. The balance is exquisite. Matter, antimatter, tide and countertide, each mirroring the other with uncanny precision. Yet somewhere beneath the surface, the ocean leans ever so slightly. One side lingers just a fraction longer, a tiny whisper of preference that will ripple through eons. You imagine it as a wave, barely noticeable, yet persistent. It curls around hidden islands, brushes against drifting clouds of cosmic dust, and nudges the formation of future stars. There is a kindness in this imbalance, not harshness, but a gentle coaxing that allows the universe to begin shaping itself. Light drifts lazily across your vision, as if the sun itself is sighing. You follow the shimmer, letting your eyes trace the arcs of particles, imagining them as soft, glowing threads in an endless tapestry. The ocean hums faintly beneath you, a sound like wind over water, or maybe like the universe humming to itself because it knows it is doing well. You breathe with it. Inhale. Exhale. One wave, one ripple, one tiny, perfect moment at a time. A subtle warmth moves across your skin. Perhaps it is the energy released when a particle meets its mirror. Perhaps it is simply the universe acknowledging your presence. You cannot tell, and it does not matter. You watch the faint pulses of light wink on and off in the distance, like fireflies on a cosmic summer evening. Your chest rises gently, your shoulders loosen, and a tiny smile curls your lips. Even in this immense, silent space, there is humor tucked into the folds, soft, teasing, a reminder that not everything must be serious. Imagine yourself as a small boat adrift on this ocean, each wave a gentle roll beneath you, a slow sway that rocks you into calm. You do not need to steer, the current carries you. Matter and antimatter drift beside you, whispering their delicate dance. The symmetry is satisfying, even beautiful. The imbalance is imperceptible, but it exists, a hidden hand that guides the tides in silence. It does not push or shove. It nudges. It encourages. It allows. You sense, faintly, that this is the beginning of everything. Each ripple you see, each glimmer of light, is part of a story that will stretch across time, folding into galaxies and stars, folding into planets and oceans, folding eventually into you. You inhale the weightless air, feeling it fill your chest with the quiet promise of discovery. Exhale. Feel the gentle pressure of the cosmic tide against your body. You are part of this rhythm. You are a wave among waves, a breath among breaths, a gentle presence within the infinite. Sometimes, as you drift, you notice the waves doubling back, overlapping, creating small patterns in the water that sparkle for just an instant. These are the collisions, the dances, the delicate interactions where particles meet antiparticles. They are not violent. They are gentle, like two friends brushing hands in greeting, leaving warmth behind. The energy released is a soft glow, a ripple that moves through the ocean, fading slowly into calm. You watch, mesmerized. A faint shimmer of color arcs across the horizon. You follow it with your eyes, and in that movement, you feel the universe breathing in tandem with you. Inhale. Exhale. Light bends and curves in ways that feel like whispers, reminding you that even in vastness, there is intimacy. Even in emptiness, there is a gentle caress. The waves of matter and antimatter fold in and out, overlapping just enough to leave the tiniest, almost imperceptible trace. That trace is the beginning of imbalance, the whisper of preference, the soft nudge that will one day let stars form, planets exist, and life awaken. Your breath slows further, deepening. Each inhale fills you with warmth, each exhale lets go of tension. You notice the horizon stretching, softening, blending into the infinite. The ocean's hum rises in harmony with your heartbeat. You smile again. The universe does not rush. The particles do not panic. The waves do not collide with urgency. Everything is patient, everything is gentle, everything is perfectly aligned in its slow unfolding. As you float, you feel the invisible pull of gravity, the tender tug of forces you cannot see. It is not forceful, only coaxing. A light joke crosses your mind, perhaps even antimatter blushes when it meets matter, disappearing into light out of modesty. You laugh softly to yourself. The sound is swallowed by the cosmic tide, but it matters. Humor, like breath, is a ripple that carries comfort, even here. The stars on the horizon seem to wink at you, distant but friendly, as if aware that you are learning the rhythm of this ocean. Your hands skim the gentle waves of energy, brushing against invisible currents that hum softly. You feel your lungs rise and fall in sync with the universe, inhale and exhale, a perfect repetition that lulls your mind toward calm. The waves fold back upon themselves, gentle, undisturbed, carrying the whispers of preference forward, quietly, softly. And then, in the quiet, you notice it, the faint suggestion of imbalance, the almost imperceptible lean of matter over antimatter. It is not alarming. It is simply the first hint of a story that will ripple across time. You breathe in, letting it fill your chest with calm understanding. Exhale. Let the ocean carry you. Waves roll slowly beneath you, brushing past each other, brushing past you, brushing into the horizon. You drift forward, buoyed by the gentle sway, the tender hum, the soft light that seems to breathe with you. The cosmic ocean stretches onward, infinite, inviting you to follow the ripples a little further. And as you settle into this gentle current, you feel the softest hint of anticipation, no rush, no urgency, only the whispering promise of the next wave. A wave curls toward you. You lean into it, inhale slowly, exhale softly. The tide carries you, steady, peaceful, warm. And somewhere, just beyond the horizon, you sense the next story beginning to ripple, one where matter and antimatter meet again, where tides fold and cancel, where the subtle preference of the universe begins to shape the dance of galaxies. You float, and the ocean hums, and the whispering horizon stretches farther than you can see. And then you exhale, soft and long, letting the current carry you toward the next wave, the next chapter, the next gentle unfolding of the cosmic ocean. You drift further into the cosmic ocean, carried by the gentle swell of waves that began in the whispering horizon. Inhale. Exhale. The rhythm of your chest matches the rhythm of the universe, slow, deliberate, warm. The water of space feels weightless beneath you, tinged with a soft glow that shimmers against your skin, like twilight caught in liquid silk. You notice the tiniest oscillations, the delicate back and forth of particles and antiparticles, each moving with quiet intention, each respecting the other's space. You pause, letting the warmth of your breath fill your lungs, noticing the soft hum of the currents around you. Matter drifts in gentle arcs, forming tender ripples that move outward. Antimatter drifts in opposition, a mirrored wave that is both familiar and elusive. Sometimes it feels like they are playing, teasing each other across the vast expanse. You smile quietly to yourself. The universe has a sense of humor, soft and subtle, like a star twinkling just to make you grin. Every encounter between these mirrored tides is a gentle kiss of energy. Particles meet antiparticles and vanish, leaving ripples of light behind, soft flashes that bloom like tiny lanterns on the surface of your ocean. They fade quickly, leaving only warmth and memory. You imagine these flashes as whispers, each one a story of creation and destruction told without hurry, without urgency, a narrative folded gently into the fabric of space itself. Your fingers skim the surface of the cosmic water. It is smooth and cool, yet the faint pressure of hidden waves moves beneath, subtle and unhurried. You inhale deeply, tasting the quiet pull of balance. Exhale slowly, letting the soft glow of distant photons fill your awareness. You realize that symmetry is perfect, almost complete, but there is a tiny, gentle lean toward matter, a quiet preference that hums beneath the surface like a secret melody. This preference is not harsh. It is not forceful. It is tender, almost shy, like a wave lingering for just a heartbeat longer before curling back into the ocean. You watch as the mirrored ripples fold upon themselves, overlapping, canceling, leaving just enough imbalance to guide the currents of tomorrow. Each repetition is soft, a microrhythm, echoing through the infinite water. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You begin to notice that your own breathing mirrors these cosmic tides, a small but satisfying reflection of the universe's calm. The horizon stretches in all directions, gentle waves of light flickering across its surface. Particles drift lazily, brushing past their antiparticle companions, and tiny flashes bloom where they meet. You imagine the energy released as soft sparks, like fireflies performing a delicate ballet, or perhaps like a shy smile exchanged across a quiet room. The bursts are brief, fleeting, and then gone, leaving the water smooth again, undisturbed, the echoes of their meeting lingering in the warmth of your chest. You float for what feels like an eternity and a heartbeat at once, feeling the subtle sway of the cosmic ocean beneath you. Matter has its slight preference, the one that will allow stars to form, planets to emerge, and life to take root. Antimatter drifts in balance, a reminder that even in scarcity, it matters. You chuckle softly at the thought that even antimatter has dignity. It may be fleeting, it may vanish, yet it contributes to the rhythm, the poetry, the gentle logic of all that is. The waves fold again, carrying soft ripples across the horizon. You follow the movement with your eyes, slow and deliberate, tracing each curve, each bend, each elegant fold. Light bends along with them, diffusing softly, painting warm, liquid colors across the expanse. You inhale the subtle warmth of this energy, the almost imperceptible vibration of particles brushing against particles. Exhale. Let it go. The balance feels like a caress, not a command, a whisper, not a shout. Sometimes you notice that the mirrored waves create delicate patterns, tiny swirls that glitter briefly before smoothing into calm again. These are the moments where symmetry meets imperfection, where tiny imbalances leave traces that will ripple through the ages. You watch with gentle awe, feeling the weightless pull of the universe in your chest. Each ripple carries possibility. Each fold carries serenity. Each microflash of light is a tender note in the lullaby of existence. The cosmic tide hums beneath you, a quiet resonance that vibrates through your bones without urgency. Matter and antimatter perform a soft waltz, brushing past one another in rhythmic repetition. There is beauty in their imperfection, in the leaning tide that allows one to linger ever so slightly longer. You notice your lips twitch in a faint smile. Perhaps the universe itself finds these little preferences amusing. Perhaps it sighs quietly, satisfied with its own poetry. You inhale. You exhale. As the mirrored tides continue their gentle dance, you sense warmth radiating from distant interactions. Tiny flashes of energy pulse outward, brushing your skin, like distant campfires seen across a misty lake. You follow the glimmer with your gaze, feeling each pulse settle softly into your chest. The universe whispers reassurance, the imbalance is gentle, the preference is subtle, and the dance is tenderly orchestrated. You are safe here, floating, breathing, drifting with the cosmic rhythm. Your attention drifts to the faint pull of gravity, a whisper beneath the waves. It is not urgent, it is soft, coaxing matter to form gentle folds, small eddies in the cosmic ocean. You can feel your lungs rise with it, exhale along with it, each breath sinking with the subtle flows. The mirrored waves bend around invisible currents, folding back upon themselves like a song repeated in soft echoes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You notice a tiny burst of light, a particle meeting its antiparticle, vanishing with a delicate shimmer. You smile, because even in its disappearance, there is beauty. Even in its vanishing, there is purpose. Each flash carries warmth, each ripple carries calm, each fold carries the memory of balance disrupted just enough to allow creation. It is playful, almost teasing, a gentle reminder that even cosmic forces can have a sense of humor. You laugh softly into the quiet, the sound absorbed by the cosmic tide. Time stretches, bends, and flows like the ocean itself. You drift in slow arcs, rising with waves of energy, descending with folds of symmetry. Matter leans just slightly, antimatter follows softly behind. The ripple continues, persistent yet gentle, a lullaby folded into every fold of space. You breathe it in, letting your chest expand with calm understanding. Exhale. Let go. Inhale. Feel the warmth of cosmic balance settle around you. The mirrored waves carry you forward, toward the horizon, where faint glimmers of light mark the edges of creation. You float with the tide, noticing the subtle pulse of preference beneath it all. It is tender. It is patient. It is soft, like the ocean brushing your toes at dawn. Each ripple, each fold, each vanishing spark reminds you that even in imbalance, there is serenity, even in imperfection, there is rhythm. And as you drift, you sense the horizon stretching farther than ever, a gentle invitation to continue along the tide. Your lungs rise. Your chest falls. You float with the mirrored waves, matter and antimatter weaving together, leaving soft ripples in their wake. The ocean hums its quiet song, a lullaby that moves slowly, endlessly, carrying you toward the next gentle story. A soft wave curls beneath you. You lean into it, inhale, exhale, letting the current carry you. Somewhere just ahead, a new ripple begins, subtle and delicate. It is the next chapter in the quiet, patient dance of creation. You drift forward, warm, safe, calm, listening to the mirrored tides whispering secrets of the universe. You drift deeper into the cosmic ocean, carried by gentle swells that ripple from the horizon you left behind. Inhale. Exhale. The rhythm of your breath blends with the faint hum of primordial waves. The water feels different here, softly luminous, a liquid light that warms your skin like a tender sigh. You notice the faint vibrations beneath the surface, quivers of energy that hint at secrets older than time. The air, if it can be called air, brushes lightly against your cheeks, carrying the warmth of distant light, and you smile. You are a part of this, floating in a calm vastness that has always existed, yet has never hurried. Here, in the early reaches of everything, matter and antimatter swirl in near-perfect symmetry. They drift alongside each other, mirrored, balanced, like twin tides tracing the edge of infinity. They kiss briefly, exchanging flashes of light, soft sparks that bloom and fade, leaving a whisper of warmth in their wake. You inhale deeply, letting your chest rise with the rhythm of these gentle dances. Exhale slowly. Feel the calm settle across your shoulders. The symmetry is exquisite, almost perfect, yet beneath it, the first ripple of imbalance begins to whisper. It is tiny, almost imperceptible. A wave that leans just slightly to one side, barely enough to tilt the dance in favor of matter. And yet, you feel it resonate with the slow pulse of the cosmic ocean. It is not alarming. It is not violent. It is soft, like a gentle suggestion made by the universe to itself. You imagine it as a small current brushing against the folds of larger waves, guiding them in a direction without pushing, nudging without forcing. You inhale, your lungs filling with the warm glow of distant suns yet to form. Exhale. Let the water cradle you. The primordial light shimmers across your vision, painting liquid colors across the vast expanse. Soft amber, pale violet, the faintest blush of starlight yet to exist. The waves of energy ripple gently, reflecting the subtle preference of matter that lingers just a breath longer than antimatter. You watch these tiny interactions, each flash a gentle pulse in the heartbeat of creation. You feel warmth in your chest, a quiet reassurance, as if the universe itself is humming a lullaby to guide you toward understanding. Particles and antiparticles meet and vanish in delicate flares of light. You imagine them as tiny dancers, twirling in a ballroom of liquid starlight, bowing to each other before dissolving into the floor of the cosmic ocean. Each disappearance is not a loss, it is transformation, a gift of energy released into the water, gentle and bright. The patterns they leave behind fold softly into the currents, leaving an imperceptible nudge that will ripple across eternity. You inhale. You exhale. You are part of this, even here, even now, even as the tides fold silently beneath you. The warmth of expanding space brushes against your skin like a breeze that has no source but is everywhere at once. It stretches the horizon outward, melting edges into gentle gradients of light. You feel a deep sense of calm as you float here, drifting through the tender, newborn universe. The imbalance, the subtle preference for matter, is a quiet pulse, like a secret heartbeat hidden beneath the surface of a calm lake. It will guide everything that comes next. And you, floating here, can sense it without seeing it, can feel it without needing to name it. You watch the mirrored waves fold and overlap. Matter lingers, antimatter follows, vanishing in soft flickers of light. There is rhythm in this, repetition that soothes your mind. Each microflash carries energy, but not urgency. Each ripple spreads warmth, but not heat. Your chest rises and falls in sync with the pulses. Inhale. Exhale. The calm is infinite. The ocean carries you, steady, warm, gentle, like a lullaby of light and water and time. Sometimes you notice patterns, delicate swirls that trace across the surface, appearing and fading like faint memories. You think perhaps these are the first whispers of galaxies, tiny undulations in the cosmic sea that will fold into larger shapes one day. The imbalance is subtle, almost shy, but persistent. You smile softly. Even the universe has a sense of humor. It nudges, it leans, it teases the tides in ways that will unfold slowly, softly, beautifully. You inhale, letting the soft glow of energy fill your lungs. Exhale. Let go. The mirrored waves fold again, brushing past each other without urgency. You notice how each wave seems aware of the other, dancing carefully to avoid collision, yet brushing close enough to leave a trace. The light from vanished particles blooms gently, diffusing into warm threads across the water. You reach out, your fingers passing through the glow, feeling only the soft vibration of energy brushing your skin. It is tender. It is patient. It is the universe teaching you how to notice the small, important details without haste. You imagine the first stars forming somewhere far ahead, their warmth only just beginning to hum across the empty ocean. They will be born from this tiny preference, this gentle leaning toward matter. The imbalance is not an imperative, it is a suggestion, a gentle guidance that will ripple across time, shaping everything from luminous clouds to planets to the quiet places where life will one day whisper. Inhale. Exhale. You feel the slow rise and fall of possibility, the gentle sway of unfolding events, and you let it settle into your chest. The waves fold softly, repeated, repeated, repeated. Matter leans slightly. Antimatter follows. Particles vanish in bright sparks that fade into calm. The ocean hums beneath you, a vibration like a lullaby, a heartbeat, a whisper that says, everything is gentle, everything is in order. You breathe with it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The repetition, the waves, the folds, they lull you further into the rhythm of understanding. A soft warmth brushes your skin, carrying a tiny spark of humor, a thought that even antimatter might blush at its own disappearance, fading into light with modest grace. You smile quietly. The universe is patient. It is tender. It is soft. Each wave, each ripple, each micro-flash of light contributes to the unfolding of everything, and you feel your chest rise with it, your shoulders relax, your mind softening like clouds over a gentle sea. You float in the primordial ocean, letting your awareness stretch across the horizon. The subtle preference for matter is the first step, the whisper of a choice that will shape galaxies, stars, planets, oceans, and eventually, you. You inhale. You exhale. Each breath matches the pulse of the waves, the soft cadence of vanishing light, the gentle sway of mirrored tides. You are cradled by this rhythm, comforted by its quiet certainty. The horizon shimmers softly, a warm promise that even in balance, there is leaning. Even in symmetry, there is guidance. Waves of energy fold back upon themselves, leaving ripples that will one day grow into cosmic structures. You feel the pull of this tender nudge, the quiet insistence that creation itself is patient, deliberate, and infinitely gentle. Inhale. Exhale. You are part of it, floating, breathing, resting in the calm of this first, tender choice. And as you drift, carried by the undulating ocean, you notice the faint shimmer of new possibilities ahead. Particles and antiparticles continue their mirrored dance, flashes of light blooming, fading, leaving soft ripples in their wake. You exhale slowly, feeling the ocean cradle your body, your mind, your awareness. The imbalance hums faintly beneath the surface, a tender whisper that promises more. A wave brushes beneath you, soft and steady. You lean into it, inhale deeply, exhale slowly. The tides carry you forward, calm, warm, safe. And somewhere just beyond your vision, the next gentle ripple waits, the next chapter in the slow, hypnotic dance of the cosmic ocean. You drift toward it, and the horizon stretches softly, inviting you to follow. You float gently, carried by the slow swells of the cosmic ocean, the mirrored tides of matter and antimatter still brushing softly at your sides. Inhale. Exhale. Each breath moves with the undulating rhythm of creation, rising and falling with the invisible currents beneath you. The horizon behind you fades into a faint glow, a tender reminder of the primordial imbalance that has nudged the universe gently toward matter. Ahead, the waters shimmer with new possibilities, clouds of photons drifting lazily across the expanse like luminous mist on a serene lake. The light here feels almost tangible. It caresses your skin, warm and soft, like the faint touch of a sunbeam filtered through quiet clouds. Each photon hums softly as it travels, carrying whispers from distant places, from events that happened before there was time to measure them. You inhale, letting the faint vibration of these streams fill your chest. Exhale. Let go. The ocean folds around you, accepting, cradling, endless and gentle. You are afloat in the lullaby of light and shadow. Every now and then, a particle meets its mirrored partner. Matter and antimatter brush against each other, folding together in a fleeting embrace before vanishing into tiny waves of energy. The collisions are brief, delicate, and luminous, like fireflies flickering in a quiet pond. You smile softly at the thought that even in destruction, there is artistry, even in disappearance, there is rhythm. The energy released ripples through the surrounding water, leaving only a faint shimmer that lingers like a sigh, a note in the lullaby of the universe. Your fingers drift through the light, brushing against currents that vibrate faintly beneath the surface. You feel warmth, not heat, a gentle pressure that resonates through your chest. Each collision carries reassurance. The universe does not rush, does not panic. It simply allows the tides to fold upon themselves, soft and deliberate. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The repetition of your breathing mirrors the cosmic rhythm, a slow, steady tide that carries calm through every particle, every wave, every glimmering flash. The mirrored waves twist and fold in intricate patterns. You notice arcs of light curling around each other, intertwining, separating, and meeting again with perfect timing. It is a dance performed without haste, without friction, without fear. You imagine these flashes as the first sparks of creation, the tiny gestures that will one day ripple outward to shape stars, galaxies, oceans, and quiet spaces where life may wander. You inhale, letting the warmth of these interactions settle in your chest. Exhale. Let the light cradle you. You drift closer to one of the brighter interactions, a fleeting embrace of matter and antimatter that blossoms like a tiny sun, then fades into a calm glow. The energy radiates softly across your skin, warm and luminous, like the faintest blanket of sunlight on a spring morning. You sense the mirrored tides bending gently around each other, respectful of their shared space, careful not to disturb the ocean's rhythm. You chuckle softly. Even particles have manners, it seems, polite and precise in their vanishing acts. The horizon shimmers farther, painted with diffused light that bends like liquid across the waves. You follow the shimmer with soft, deliberate movements, tracing the curves of energy with your gaze. Inhale. Exhale. The collisions are repeated, forming patterns that are almost imperceptible yet profoundly serene. You feel the calm rising through your chest, the warmth spreading down your arms, across your shoulders, like gentle currents weaving through the ocean. Somewhere beneath the surface, the tiny preference for matter hums quietly, a subtle pulse beneath the mirrored tides. It is not forceful. It is not urgent. It is a whisper, a suggestion, a gentle leaning of the cosmic ocean toward creation. You imagine it as a faint tide brushing against the curves of waves, nudging them slightly in one direction without effort, without violence, without impatience. Inhale. Exhale. The rhythm carries you further, deeper, into the soft folds of light and shadow. Occasionally, a flash blooms so briefly that it is almost a blink. You focus on it, letting it fill your senses, the faint warmth, the shimmer of photons brushing past each other, the gentle hum vibrating beneath the water. It is quiet, it is gentle, it is the universe folding itself over itself in the calmest of dances. You let your chest rise and fall with it, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Each repetition is a wave that rocks you into serenity, each glow a lullaby that hums softly against your mind. The ocean swirls around you, carrying ripples from distant collisions that you cannot see but can feel. The mirrored waves of matter and antimatter fold and cancel, leaving behind only soft trails of energy that diffuse gently across the water. You notice the symmetry, almost perfect, and yet, like a quiet whisper, the tiny preference for matter continues to hum beneath the surface. It is tender, patient, playful. It does not rush, does not demand, does not disturb the calm. You smile softly. Perhaps the universe enjoys a little teasing. Your fingers drift through a faint glow, brushing against the residue of vanished particles. It vibrates gently beneath your skin, a subtle reminder that even absence carries presence, even disappearance carries memory. You inhale, feeling the rhythm of creation pulse through you. Exhale. Let go. The collisions continue, endlessly, gracefully, and the ocean hums with them, soft and reassuring. Each flash, each ripple, each folding wave carries the quiet message: everything unfolds gently, everything unfolds slowly, everything unfolds in time. You drift closer to a larger cluster of interactions, where clouds of photons twist around each other in slow arcs. The light sparkles across your vision, warm and diffuse, like the faint glow of lanterns on a misty lake. Each collision releases a microwave of energy that diffuses across the cosmic water, folding gently into the surrounding tides. You follow the light with your eyes, your breathing syncing with its rhythm. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You feel the lullaby of these interactions seep into your chest, your arms, your shoulders, your entire being. The mirrored tides continue, particles folding into antiparticles, flashes of light appearing and fading, leaving trails of gentle energy. You watch as some waves curve, curl, fold back upon themselves, leaving soft spirals in the water. These patterns are quiet, subtle, but profoundly beautiful. They remind you that even in the smallest interactions, there is poetry, there is rhythm, there is calm. You inhale, letting the warmth settle deep in your chest. Exhale. Let go. Let the ocean carry you. You notice a faint shimmer in the distance, a place where light bends and folds in slow, elegant arcs. You float toward it, carried by the gentle swells of the cosmic ocean. The collisions here are slower, more deliberate, like dancers taking time to bow before they vanish. Each flash is a whisper, each ripple a soft note, and the waves fold around you as if to lull you further into serenity. You smile, a soft, private smile. Even the universe seems to be humming just for you. Your breath slows. Each inhale fills your chest with warmth. Each exhale releases tension, worry, time. You float in the mirrored currents of matter and antimatter, observing the gentle glow of vanished particles. They are not lost. They are transformed. Their energy becomes part of the cosmic water, part of the rhythm, part of the lullaby that rocks you ever so gently. Inhale. Exhale. Repeat. The calm spreads through your shoulders, your arms, your legs, your mind, your heart. A small chuckle rises from you, soft and brief. Perhaps even the particles have a sense of humor, vanishing in tiny, polite bursts of light, leaving a shimmer to mark their passing. You imagine them whispering, "Oops, did I do that?" And you smile at the thought. There is joy here, subtle, quiet, woven into the folds of every wave. It hums beneath the symmetry, beneath the imbalance, beneath the soft preference for matter that will carry creation forward. The horizon stretches farther, clouds of photons folding, twisting, glimmering in delicate arcs. Matter leans ever so slightly, antimatter follows softly behind, and the mirrored waves continue their gentle waltz. You inhale, filling your lungs with the calm warmth of light. Exhale, letting your body relax further into the gentle sway of the cosmic ocean. You are part of the rhythm, a small wave within the larger tide, drifting through the soft folds of light and shadow. And as you drift, carried by the soft currents, you notice the faint shimmer of the next ripple ahead. It is subtle, barely a wave, yet it promises new patterns, new dances, new stories in the cosmic lullaby. You lean gently into the current, inhale slowly, exhale softly, and allow the tides to carry you forward. The mirrored waves, the flashes of vanished particles, the folds of light, they whisper together in perfect harmony, guiding you toward the next gentle chapter, where symmetry begins to bend in soft, deliberate ways, and the universe reveals its tender, persistent preference. You drift forward, floating in the endless, gentle ocean of the cosmos. Inhale. Exhale. The waves from the last collisions fade into soft ripples that brush lightly against your skin, as if the universe itself is folding around you. You feel warmth in the faint hum beneath your fingertips, a subtle pulse that whispers the beginnings of preference, the gentle leaning of tides toward matter. The mirrored waves continue their dance, but now, the symmetry begins to bend ever so slightly, not with force, but with a tender coaxing. The horizon stretches endlessly, a liquid gradient of soft lavender and pale gold. You notice that the ocean of space itself seems to breathe, rising and falling in waves that mirror your own inhalations and exhalations. Each wave is a gentle caress, a slow fold of energy moving with purpose yet without urgency. You feel the rhythm in your chest, the swell of warmth in your lungs, the soft tug of cosmic currents beneath your body. Inhale. Exhale. Let the calm of the universe settle across your shoulders. Symmetry is folding like a curtain, soft and delicate, across the infinite water. You watch as matter leans slightly, nudged by a subtle current that you cannot see, yet you can feel. Antimatter drifts beside it, still graceful, still mirrored, but a faint preference directs the flow, guiding the tides of creation in gentle arcs. You imagine the universe smiling quietly, nudging one wave to linger just a fraction longer, shaping the future without urgency, without loud insistence, only soft persuasion. The light around you shimmers, diffused across ripples of energy that fold upon themselves in intricate patterns. Each particle movement leaves a trace, a faint shimmer that persists in the water, echoing the gentle pull toward imbalance. You reach out, brushing a fingertip through the glow. The vibration is soft, like the brush of a feather across your skin. It hums faintly, a lullaby for your senses. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You are cradled in the calm pulse of the ocean, a participant in the subtle dance of symmetry and preference. You notice how the waves fold back gently upon themselves, each crest guiding the next in soft repetition. The mirrored tides of matter and antimatter are still balanced, yet a slight leaning begins to ripple through the ocean. The preference is not harsh. It does not demand or push. It simply nudges, ever so gently, like a parent guiding a child's hand along the curve of a drawing. You inhale, letting your chest rise with the rhythm. Exhale slowly, letting your shoulders soften into the gentle sway of the cosmic tide. Small flashes of light punctuate the calm. Particles meet antiparticles and vanish, leaving a whisper of energy that shimmers faintly in the water. You watch these interactions, mesmerized by the softness of their rhythm. There is no hurry here. Each flash blooms and fades, leaving warmth behind, a tender glow that settles across the surface of the ocean. You inhale, feeling the calm pulse through your chest. Exhale. Let the waves fold around you, carrying you further into serenity. Sometimes the mirrored waves create delicate spirals, arcs that fold gracefully into each other. You imagine these as the first suggestions of galaxies, tender ripples in the cosmic ocean that will later bloom into luminous arms of stars. The leaning tide, the subtle preference for matter, guides these folds with patient precision. You smile softly. Even the universe has patience, a gentle humor tucked into its folds. Perhaps antimatter blushes as it vanishes. Perhaps particles giggle quietly as they collide. You inhale, sensing warmth in the humor. Exhale, letting it melt into calm. The horizon glows with soft, shifting light, and you notice a gentle pull beneath your hands, beneath your arms, beneath your chest. It is a subtle current, guiding the mirrored waves and arcs that fold the ocean ever so slightly toward one side. You feel the rhythm in your lungs, your heartbeat slowing to match the folds of symmetry. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Each fold of the waves, each flash of light, each gentle nudge of the ocean carries reassurance. Everything unfolds slowly, tenderly, perfectly in its own time. You drift further, noticing that the subtle asymmetry is persistent. It is not forceful, it does not shout. It is patient, a gentle leaning that will ripple forward to form the first cosmic structures. You imagine it like a tiny wave brushing ashore, returning again and again, shaping sand, guiding tides, leaving ripples that last. You inhale deeply, filling your lungs with warmth. Exhale slowly, feeling the pull of the ocean fold softly around your shoulders and arms. Sometimes a micro-flash of humor touches your awareness. Perhaps a particle frowns in mock surprise as it disappears, leaving a tiny sparkle of light behind, or perhaps the ocean itself giggles quietly as two mirrored waves fold in near-perfect alignment. You smile softly. The universe is tender, even playful. The symmetry is bending in soft, deliberate ways, and you feel yourself gently rocked by its rhythm, a participant in the lullaby of cosmic creation. The mirrored waves fold and fold again, spiraling in arcs that reflect faint glimmers of vanished energy. The slight preference for matter hums beneath the surface, a subtle guide that does not rush but whispers. You notice your chest rising with each pulse, your exhale carrying you deeper into calm. The folds repeat, repeated, a rhythm of reassurance that carries warmth and light across the infinite ocean. You are afloat in the rhythm, a small wave among waves, breathing with the tides. You notice that each gentle nudge leaves soft ripples in the surrounding water, echoes that reach farther than you can see. These echoes fold back upon themselves, layering over new waves, guiding them in arcs that will one day ripple into stars, planets, and oceans. You inhale, feeling the folds press softly against your skin. Exhale slowly, letting the warmth settle into your chest. The symmetry is bending, but it is bending in the gentlest of ways, a whisper of guidance rather than command. The light bends around the mirrored waves, creating arcs of diffused glow that shimmer faintly across the horizon. Each collision, each vanishing particle, each fold in the ocean carries energy into the surrounding water, a delicate song that ripples outward. You follow the shimmer with your eyes, inhaling as it flows past your chest. Exhale, letting the ocean cradle you. The rhythm is hypnotic, soft, unhurried, and profoundly reassuring. Occasionally, a wave curls just slightly longer than its mirrored counterpart, leaving a faint trace of leaning behind. You notice this, and feel a gentle thrill of understanding. This is the beginning of everything, the first step in the long unfolding of cosmic preference. The universe is patient, guiding without force, nudging without hurry, leaving trails of light and warmth that ripple quietly across the primordial ocean. You inhale, letting your lungs rise with the gentle sway. Exhale slowly, melting into the calm of the waves. You drift in this rhythm, aware of the mirrored waves folding, colliding, vanishing, leaving traces of energy behind. The faint preference hums beneath it all, a quiet pulse that suggests the next step, the next fold, the next gentle shaping of the ocean. You smile softly. Even imbalance can be beautiful. Even leaning can be serene. You inhale. You exhale. Your body rises and falls with the tide, your awareness soft and wide, carried by the folds and ripples of the cosmic water. And as you float, you notice the horizon stretching farther, glowing with gentle arcs of light that hint at more structure ahead. The mirrored waves continue their slow waltz, nudged ever so softly by the gentle pull of asymmetry. You exhale, letting the folds of energy carry you forward. A new ripple waits just beyond, a subtle hint of the next movement in the cosmic ocean. You inhale slowly, exhale softly, and let the gentle pull of symmetry breaking guide you onward, toward the next chapter, where the flow of particles and currents will begin to reveal the tender logic of the universe's design. You drift forward, carried by the tender folds of symmetry that have guided the universe this far. Inhale. Exhale. The ocean beneath you hums softly, an infinite resonance that vibrates through your chest and arms. The mirrored waves of matter and antimatter are still present, folding and brushing against one another, yet now you notice the emergence of currents, gentle, invisible flows that guide each particle along a delicate path. You feel the currents brushing softly across your skin, like warm air drifting past an open window at twilight. The waves rise and fall around you in slow arcs, a rhythm that mirrors the inhalation and exhalation of your lungs. Matter follows these hidden channels, drifting along unseen streams shaped by soft, quiet laws. Antimatter drifts beside it, mirrored and graceful, as if following the same rhythm but in gentle opposition. You exhale slowly, feeling the warmth of these flows brush across your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Your heartbeat slows to match the pulse of the cosmic water, steady, soft, endless. The light around you bends with the flow, diffused across soft ripples of energy. Each particle seems aware of the currents, folding along invisible paths without collision, without rush. You imagine the universe as a patient painter, brushing each wave along the canvas of space-time, layering arcs of energy in careful strokes. Tiny flashes bloom as matter and antimatter meet briefly, releasing energy into the surrounding water. The flashes are gentle, bright, fading quickly, leaving only warmth and memory in their wake. You notice the arcs of energy swirling around each other, creating delicate spirals that ripple outward through the ocean. These patterns are repeated again and again, micro-repetitions that lull your senses into a soft calm. Inhale. Exhale. The mirrored waves drift past each other, folding and curving in tandem, guided by subtle, unseen currents. There is no urgency here, no abrupt motion, only the slow, deliberate sway of matter following tender rules written into the fabric of the ocean itself. Occasionally, a particle drifts slightly off course, nudged by a faint ripple, a whisper of energy from somewhere distant. You watch as it folds back into the flow with gentle grace, the currents accommodating its small deviation, guiding it softly back into rhythm. You smile quietly at the patience of the universe, the way it allows freedom while maintaining balance. Inhale, letting the warmth of these currents fill your lungs. Exhale, sinking deeper into the calm sway of the cosmic ocean. The mirrored tides continue, subtle waves folding upon themselves as they drift through the invisible channels. Each flash of light, each vanishing particle, each fold carries a message of gentle purpose. The universe is patient, it nudges, it guides, it coaxes. You feel your shoulders relax, your arms float heavier in the warm water, your chest softening with each inhalation and exhalation. You are a part of this rhythm, a small wave in a vast tide, carried effortlessly along paths unseen. You notice tiny eddies forming where currents converge, slight spirals of energy that ripple outward like soft whispers across the water. Matter leans slightly, its preference still guiding the ocean's folds. Antimatter drifts beside it, mirrored, patient, fading softly into each ripple. You imagine the currents as threads in a tapestry, weaving matter and antimatter into patterns that are tender, deliberate, and infinitely slow. Each thread hums softly, vibrating through the cosmic water, through your fingertips, through your chest. Inhale. Exhale. The horizon stretches farther, diffuse arcs of light folding across the ocean, reflecting the hidden channels beneath. You drift closer to one of the larger eddies, where countless tiny flashes bloom and vanish like a scattered constellation of miniature stars. The flows carry energy gently through the water, arcs folding gracefully back upon themselves. You notice how even the smallest deviations in particle paths are guided by currents that feel aware, deliberate, and unhurried. Inhale, feeling warmth spread through your chest. Exhale, letting the gentle sway carry you deeper. You sense a faint vibration beneath your fingers as you reach into the water, brushing through the ripples left by vanished particles. The sensation is soft, almost like a tender hum vibrating along your skin. Each collision, each folding wave, each vanishing flash leaves a faint trace of energy that ripples gently into the surrounding currents. The universe hums softly here, whispering reassurance. Everything flows calmly, everything follows rhythm, everything has purpose without urgency. You smile, inhaling and exhaling in perfect harmony with the tides. Small pockets of light twist and fold like ribbons in the water, arcs overlapping arcs, spirals curling into spirals. You imagine the first structures of matter forming along these gentle currents, tiny folds of energy that will eventually grow into luminous clouds, stars, and galaxies. The preference for matter hums quietly beneath it all, guiding the folds ever so softly. You feel the slow pulse in your chest, inhaling the calm, exhaling into the warmth that washes over your shoulders and arms. Occasionally, a flash blooms larger than the rest, a fleeting, delicate spark as a particle and antiparticle meet and vanish. You watch it softly glow, a tiny lighthouse in the liquid expanse. The energy radiates across the water, folding gently into surrounding currents, echoing the subtle rhythm of symmetry and preference. You inhale deeply, letting the warmth fill your chest. Exhale slowly, letting the faint vibration settle through your shoulders and back. Inhale again, exhale again, carried by the infinite tide. The mirrored waves fold upon themselves with hypnotic repetition, arcs tracing arcs, spirals tracing spirals. You notice the gentle pull beneath the surface, guiding the matter along currents that seem to stretch farther than the eye can see. There is no abruptness, no force. Only patience, grace, and rhythm. You feel the universe breathe beneath your fingertips, beneath your skin, beneath the rise and fall of your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Each repetition deepens the calm, each fold deepens the serenity, each shimmer deepens your awareness of the cosmic lullaby. You drift past clusters of energy that twist gently in the currents, waves folding over waves, arcs glimmering softly in the light. The mirrored tides of matter and antimatter continue their waltz, each step guided by invisible hands, each fold carried by invisible streams. You sense the faint pull of the universe's tender logic, a pulse that nudges everything into rhythm. You inhale, feeling your chest rise. Exhale, letting the warmth ripple down your arms, through your legs, through your awareness. Sometimes a tiny spark of humor tickles your senses. Perhaps a particle winks as it vanishes, leaving a trace of light to mark its passing. Perhaps the current itself teases the tides, letting a wave drift a moment longer before folding it gently back. You smile softly, inhaling the warmth and exhaling into calm. The universe is patient, playful, and infinitely gentle. You are cradled in its rhythm, floating through invisible channels, carried by the subtle sway of currents and folds. The horizon glows faintly with soft arcs of light that fold across the ocean. The mirrored waves drift along the channels, nudged slightly by the preference for matter. The energy released in each vanishing interaction flows gently through the currents, building the quiet scaffolding of cosmic structure. You watch the patterns repeat, again and again, a hypnotic rhythm that rocks your mind into stillness. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You feel the ocean carry you effortlessly, your body part of the infinite tide. And as you drift, you notice the gentle shimmer of the next horizon ahead, a soft fold of light and energy that promises new patterns, new dances, and new whispers in the cosmic lullaby. The currents hum faintly beneath your fingertips, beneath your arms, beneath your chest. You exhale slowly, leaning into the tide, inhaling the warmth, exhaling into calm. The mirrored waves, the folds of light, the tender flow of matter and antimatter, they all guide you forward, toward the next chapter, where light will carry messages, and the ocean will hum the quiet stories of creation. You drift further into the calm expanse, carried by the gentle folds and currents of matter and antimatter. Inhale. Exhale. The mirrored waves continue their slow, deliberate waltz, leaving trails of soft energy that shimmer faintly in the cosmic water. Beyond them, a faint glow catches your attention, threads of light stretching across the ocean like delicate ribbons, trembling softly in the vast silence. You reach toward them, and the warmth brushes against your fingertips, tender and fleeting. The light is alive, in its own quiet way. It hums faintly beneath the surface of the ocean, vibrating with stories from faraway collisions, from vanished particles and gentle interactions. Each photon carries a memory, a whisper of what has happened, and you feel it brush across your skin, a soft caress that resonates with the slow pulse of your heartbeat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale again. You are enfolded by the rhythm, a part of the story the photons are telling, drifting effortlessly through waves of energy. You notice the threads of light weaving through the mirrored tides of matter and antimatter, arcs folding gently around one another. Each collision leaves a trace that ripples outward, soft and luminous, a quiet conversation carried on invisible currents. The light is patient, persistent, but never urgent. It flows steadily, washing over you like a gentle tide. You smile, feeling your chest rise with each breath, inhaling warmth, exhaling into calm. Sometimes a photon glimmers brighter, carrying a more vivid whisper, a small story of energy transformed. You imagine it as a tiny messenger, carrying gentle notes from distant waves, guiding the ocean subtly, showing matter how to fold, how to sway, how to continue the slow, deliberate dance of creation. Inhale. Exhale. Your fingers drift through the light, feeling only soft vibration, a hint of warmth, never sharp or abrupt. You are cradled in the luminous threads, gently rocked by the gentle pulse of energy. The mirrored tides continue their waltz, arcs of energy folding over each other, spirals tracing spirals. Light dances across the water, a quiet lace of warmth and memory. You notice how photons carry the echoes of vanished particles, the shimmer of fleeting interactions, folding them back into the ocean. Each fold is a message, a lullaby, a reminder that even disappearance carries meaning. You inhale, feeling the warmth settle across your chest and shoulders. Exhale slowly, letting your arms float loosely in the gentle flow. Occasionally, a photon seems to hesitate, lingering slightly before continuing its journey. You imagine it pausing to murmur softly to the waves, sharing a note of encouragement, a gentle tip for the mirrored particles, a subtle nudge for the ocean itself. You smile quietly, sensing the humor tucked into the folds of energy. Even light, you think, has a playful rhythm, a patient awareness of its own delicate role. Inhale. Exhale. The warmth spreads through your chest, the currents rocking you in perfect harmony with the luminous threads. The horizon glows faintly, a soft gradient of gold and lavender light that stretches into infinity. The ribbons of photons weave around the mirrored waves, bending and curving like slow, deliberate brushstrokes. You follow them with your eyes, tracing the gentle arcs, inhaling the warmth, exhaling into the calm. Each fold, each glimmer, each soft flash is a whisper from the universe. Everything is gentle. Everything is in rhythm. Everything unfolds softly in time. You notice the faint hum beneath your fingertips as you brush through a cluster of luminous threads. The vibrations are subtle, delicate, almost musical, like the quiet strum of a harp floating underwater. Each photon carries energy that ripples gently across the ocean, guiding particles along currents, nudging arcs into folds, teaching matter and antimatter the slow, deliberate waltz of creation. You inhale, feeling the warmth spread across your chest. Exhale, sinking deeper into the luminous tide. Sometimes the threads twist and curl into spirals, arcs folding back on themselves in repeated patterns. You imagine these as messages layered atop messages, a slow conversation spanning the ocean, carrying stories from particle to particle, wave to wave. The photons are messengers without urgency, guides without insistence, and you float within their tender rhythm, inhaling, exhaling, exhaling. Your awareness widens to encompass the soft glow, the mirrored tides, the invisible currents, and the infinite, gentle hum beneath it all. Small flashes of humor ripple through the threads. Perhaps a photon flickers in surprise as it encounters a mirrored wave. Perhaps a tiny spark of energy curls playfully around an arc before resuming its journey. You smile quietly. Even the cosmos, you think, enjoys its own gentle wit, weaving soft patterns of delight into the rhythm of energy and matter. You inhale, feeling the warmth and calm flow through your lungs. Exhale slowly, letting the luminous threads carry the sensation down your arms, into your legs, into your chest. The mirrored waves drift gracefully alongside the flowing threads, arcs folding back upon themselves, spirals curling in gentle repetitions. Each collision, each vanishing particle, each luminous ripple is part of a vast, patient conversation, a dialogue of matter and antimatter, energy and light, movement and calm. You notice how even the faintest preference for matter hums softly beneath the surface, guiding the mirrored tides while allowing light to carry the subtler whispers, gentle suggestions, and playful nudges of the universe. You drift closer to a cluster of luminous threads that seem to pulse faintly, synchronized with your own inhalation and exhalation. The photons glow softly, tracing arcs and folds that ripple outward across the cosmic water. Each fold is like a soft note in a lullaby, repeated and repeated, echoing faintly across the infinite horizon. You inhale, letting your lungs fill with the warmth and the rhythm. Exhale slowly, releasing tension into the gentle folds of energy, letting your body float effortlessly in the glowing tide. Occasionally, a photon disappears, releasing energy that ripples softly through the surrounding currents. You notice the faint shimmer left behind, a delicate memory that folds into the ocean. Even in absence, there is presence. Even in disappearance, there is rhythm. The mirrored tides continue, arcs bending softly along the currents, guided by the subtle preference for matter, whispered across the ocean by ribbons of light. You inhale, feeling the warmth settle into your chest. Exhale, letting the glow cradle you gently. You watch the photons ripple across the water, carrying energy from vanished particles and gentle collisions. The threads weave in and out, tracing arcs that curl gracefully, folding back on themselves with hypnotic repetition. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale again. You feel your body rocking slowly with the currents, carried by the gentle pulse of light and the mirrored waves. There is no urgency, no force, only rhythm, tenderness, and the persistent calm of a universe humming softly in your presence. The horizon stretches farther, glowing with diffuse arcs that fold into one another, blending matter, antimatter, and light into a calm, radiant tapestry. You drift alongside it, inhaling the warmth of photons brushing your skin. Exhale. Each luminous thread carries energy, folded into arcs that ripple outward, teaching the ocean the gentle choreography of creation. You notice faint spirals forming where currents intersect, subtle guides toward the first structures that will one day bloom into stars, galaxies, and oceans. And as you float, carried by the calm tides and luminous threads, you notice the faint shimmer of the next horizon ahead. The mirrored waves, the soft flashes of light, the gentle currents, they all hum in quiet anticipation. You exhale slowly, leaning into the luminous folds, inhaling warmth, exhaling calm. The photons ripple across the ocean, carrying whispers that fold gently into matter, guiding the slow, deliberate dance of creation. And somewhere just beyond, the next chapter waits, where gravity's tender hand will begin to caress matter into stars, warming the vast ocean in preparation for luminous hearts yet to be born. You drift forward through the gentle swells of the cosmic ocean, carried by the currents of light and the mirrored waves of matter and antimatter. Inhale. Exhale. The photons ripple around you, brushing your skin with faint warmth, whispering soft stories of distant collisions. The mirrored tides sway beside you, arcs folding back upon themselves, spirals curling into gentle repetitions. And beneath it all, you notice a new sensation, a slow, almost imperceptible pull, a tender current guiding the waves in soft, deliberate arcs. It is gravity. Gentle, patient, unhurried. Inhale. Exhale. It rises like a tide beneath the mirrored waves, pulling matter together without urgency, coaxing arcs and folds to converge in quiet harmony. You feel it beneath your fingertips, a subtle vibration, a warmth that spreads through your chest. You imagine the invisible fingers of gravity brushing softly along the waves, nudging them toward each other, whispering, "Come closer, fold gently, linger a moment longer." The mirrored tides respond with graceful arcs, bending slowly, folding into each other as currents converge. Antimatter is still present, drifting alongside in patient opposition, but its whispers are faint here, almost fading. The universe has favored matter, and here, in this quiet expanse, the preference allows creation to take shape. You inhale deeply, feeling the warmth of the pull fill your chest. Exhale slowly, letting the folds of energy carry you further into the calm rhythm. You watch as tiny clouds of matter begin to gather along the gentle flows, arcs folding over arcs, spirals curving back upon themselves. Each fold, each convergence, is deliberate and slow, a soft choreography that unfolds without abruptness. The clouds thicken, a delicate concentration of warmth and light, and you sense the first hints of what will become stars. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Your chest rises and falls with the rhythm of the forming structures, and your body sways with the gentle tide of cosmic creation. Small flashes of light appear as particles collide within the gathering clouds. The energy released is soft, luminous, not harsh or blinding, like distant lanterns reflected in a still pond. You watch as each flash ripples through the surrounding water, guiding arcs and folds along gentle currents. There is a quiet intelligence in the way the matter moves, as if it knows its role in the slow dance, folding into structures that will one day glow steadily, warming the ocean around them. You inhale, letting the warmth settle across your shoulders. Exhale slowly, melting further into the calm of the tides. Gravity weaves invisible paths through the ocean, pulling arcs into spirals, curves into loops, layers upon layers of gentle folds. You notice how even the smallest clumps of matter are guided along these currents, merging softly without clamor or haste. The mirrored waves of antimatter drift alongside, mirrored, patient, fading into the edges of the gathering clouds. You smile softly, sensing the quiet humor of the universe, the gentle playfulness in its precision. Inhale. Exhale. The warmth of the forming tides carries through your chest, your arms, your shoulders. The clouds continue to coalesce, folds folding into folds, spirals folding back upon themselves in hypnotic repetition. Each convergence releases faint flashes, small bursts of energy that ripple outward, infusing the surrounding ocean with soft light. You watch the arcs bend gracefully, the spirals tracing gentle paths, and you inhale, feeling the warmth of creation brush your skin. Exhale, letting your body float deeper into the calm sway of the cosmic ocean. The mirrored tides, the photons, the gentle pull of matter, they all hum together in a lullaby of formation. Occasionally, a particle drifts slightly off course, nudged by subtle waves in the currents. You notice the pull of gravity folding it back gently into alignment, a quiet tug rather than a forceful push. The arcs bend softly, spirals twirl with delicate precision, and the clouds continue to fold inward. You inhale, letting the warmth settle deeper into your chest. Exhale slowly, feeling the folds of matter and light cradle your body as the soft currents carry you further along the rhythm of formation. You notice tiny pockets of brightness emerging as the densest regions of the clouds begin to glow with gentle warmth. It is the faint beginning of fusion, the tender heartbeat of stars yet unborn. You sense the glow brushing your skin, radiating softly into the water around you. Inhale. Exhale. The warmth spreads through your chest, down your arms, along your shoulders, carrying calm through your entire body. The mirrored tides of antimatter are almost absent here, leaving only whispers at the edges, while matter takes the lead, folding gracefully into the first luminous hearts. The clouds thicken further, arcs curling gently into themselves, folds layering softly, spirals tracing arcs that fold back upon themselves. You feel the rhythm in your lungs, rising and falling with each inhalation, exhaling into the calm sway of the forming structures. Gravity's tender hand guides each wave, coaxing matter to linger, to fold, to join its neighbors in arcs of delicate energy. You inhale, letting warmth and light fill your chest. Exhale slowly, letting your awareness drift with the folds and swirls of the ocean. Tiny bursts of humor tickle the edges of your perception. Perhaps a particle pauses just long enough to swirl in delight before merging. Perhaps the arcs curl in playful loops that surprise even the currents themselves. You smile softly, inhaling the warmth and exhaling into calm. The universe is patient, tender, and subtle, allowing each fold to find its place without force or hurry. You drift further into the luminous clouds, enfolded by gentle warmth, carried by slow, deliberate waves. The brightest regions begin to shine more steadily, arcs converging into small luminous hearts that hum with warmth and light. These are the earliest stars, tender and fragile, yet perfectly formed within the patient rhythm of gravity. You notice how the folds of matter continue to sway around them, spirals folding gently, arcs curling softly. The mirrored waves of antimatter are faint, almost absent, leaving only the tender glow of matter to light the ocean. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Your body sways with the gentle rhythm, rocking with the pulse of forming stars. The light of the newborn stars brushes your skin, warm and steady, like the embrace of a quiet sun filtered through soft clouds. The arcs of matter fold around them in tender repetition, spirals curving back upon themselves in slow, deliberate arcs. You watch as the clouds continue to fold softly, layering over each other, and you sense the ocean itself breathing with the rhythm of formation. Inhale, feeling the warmth expand through your chest. Exhale, letting the tides cradle you completely. Tiny whispers of light ripple across the water, tracing invisible currents and folds in the ocean. You notice the faint pull guiding arcs into spirals, guiding spirals into luminous hearts, a quiet choreography of gravity and energy. Each flash, each fold, each convergence carries a gentle pulse that hums through your chest. You inhale, letting the warmth deepen. Exhale slowly, allowing your body to float effortlessly through the calm sway of the cosmic ocean. And as you drift among the forming stars, the arcs, spirals, and folds whisper together in quiet harmony. The faint preference for matter hums beneath it all, guiding the mirrored waves and the currents, ensuring that the luminous hearts of stars emerge gently, steadily, without urgency. You inhale slowly, exhale softly, letting the warmth and calm carry you forward. The next horizon awaits, where galaxies will bloom from these tender ripples, arms of light spiraling softly in the vast ocean of space. You drift gently beyond the forming stars, carried by the persistent folds of the cosmic ocean. Inhale. Exhale. The mirrored tides of matter and antimatter have largely faded from this region, leaving matter to fold gracefully into larger arcs. You notice the subtle currents swirling beneath you, invisible streams guiding clusters of stars into delicate spirals. The faint pull of gravity hums quietly, like a lullaby sung across a vast, liquid horizon. You let your chest rise with a soft inhalation, exhale slowly, and allow your awareness to stretch outward into the unfolding swirls. The cosmic ocean is calm here, yet alive with rhythm. Galaxies begin to bloom, arcs of stars curling gently around dense centers, spirals winding outward in soft repetition. Each arm flows like a ribbon, weaving through the ocean with deliberate grace. You imagine yourself floating above one such spiral, drifting along its luminous curves. The stars shine softly beneath your fingertips, tiny points of warmth and light, each pulsing faintly in a quiet cadence that mirrors your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. You are carried by the rhythm, entwined with the gentle spin of the galaxy. The mirrored waves that once danced alongside matter have become whispers now, fading into the background. The preference for matter has allowed the spiral to form, arcs curling gently, guided by the patient hand of gravity. You notice the soft glow of newborn stars scattered along the arms, their light a warm caress that brushes your skin as you drift. Each star hums faintly, a quiet note in the lullaby of structure, a small pulse in the vast rhythm of the ocean. Inhale, feeling warmth rise in your chest. Exhale, letting it flow outward, mingling with the calm energy of the spiral. Sometimes, faint streaks of light ripple across the arms of the galaxy, photons traveling from distant collisions, carrying whispers from other folds in the ocean. You watch them drift gently, weaving through arcs of stars, arcs that fold into each other with hypnotic repetition. The spirals repeat their curves endlessly, like slow, deliberate waves brushing against one another. You inhale, feeling the warm pulse of their motion in your chest. Exhale slowly, letting your body float in sync with the vast rotations of luminous arcs. The center of the galaxy glows softly, a dense cluster of stars forming a luminous heart around which the arms spiral. You feel the subtle pull beneath your fingertips, a gentle caress of gravity guiding the surrounding stars and their arcs. Each fold of energy, each swirl of matter, seems aware of the next, tracing gentle paths through the cosmic ocean. You smile quietly, sensing the calm intelligence in the rhythm. The universe does not rush, it allows each swirl to find its place, each spiral to unfold with patient grace. You drift closer to the central heart, noticing faint waves radiating outward, echoes of formation carried through the surrounding spirals. These waves are soft, like distant ripples on a quiet pond, yet they guide the arms of the galaxy in subtle arcs. You reach out, fingertips brushing the faint glow, feeling warmth and gentle vibration. Inhale. Exhale. Your lungs rise with the rhythm of the spirals, exhale flowing into the folds of energy, becoming one with the gentle sway of the luminous ocean. Occasionally, a star drifts slightly off its spiral path, nudged by a hidden current beneath the water. You watch as it folds gently back into rhythm, arcs bending softly, spirals curling in hypnotic repetition. The mirrored tides are faint, almost forgotten, leaving only soft whispers along the edges. Matter flows freely, guided by subtle preference, forming patterns that will endure for eons. You inhale, feeling the warmth settle across your shoulders. Exhale slowly, letting the swirls cradle your body in a gentle embrace. The arms of the galaxy spiral outward in slow arcs, each one a delicate fold of energy tracing invisible channels. Light glimmers along the ribbons of stars, reflecting softly into the surrounding water. You notice the faint hum beneath your chest as you float among them, rising and falling with each inhalation. Exhale. Inhale. The rotation is hypnotic, each arc a wave, each spiral a gentle repetition. You feel your heartbeat echoing the vast motion, calm and steady, a mirror of the serene rhythm that carries the galaxy. Sometimes, a tiny burst of humor flickers through the galaxy. Perhaps a star twinkles in surprise as it passes an arc. Perhaps a photon dances playfully along a spiral, teasing the currents. You smile softly, inhaling warmth, exhaling into the calm. The universe is patient, tender, and subtly playful, guiding the spirals without rush, folding matter into arcs and swirls with gentle intelligence. You are floating within this pattern, a small wave among waves, cradled by the patient pull of gravity. You notice the edges of the spiral dissolving softly into the cosmic ocean, arcs fading into the diffuse glow of surrounding stars and light. The mirrored tides are faint, traces of the universe's original balance, reminding you of the gentle symmetry that once ruled all matter. You sense the calm reassurance in the fold of each spiral, a lullaby woven through light and motion. Inhale deeply, letting the warmth settle into your chest. Exhale slowly, letting the luminous folds carry your awareness outward into the vast horizon. The spirals ripple and fold, repeated endlessly, arcs folding upon arcs, waves tracing waves. You drift above one luminous arm, following it as it curves gently outward, feeling the pull of countless stars beneath your fingertips. Each star hums softly, a note in the lullaby of structure. Light glimmers along each arc, faint threads weaving stories across the ocean. You inhale, feeling the warmth brush your skin. Exhale slowly, letting your body float effortlessly in the calm sway of spiraling arcs. The center of the spiral glows warmly, dense and steady, a luminous heart guiding the outer arms. You sense the faint pull beneath your chest, gravity caressing each star into place, allowing the mirrored waves to fold and fade, letting the preference for matter shape the graceful swirls. You smile quietly at the rhythm, inhaling warmth, exhaling into calm. The spiral hums softly beneath your awareness, a lullaby of light, matter, and patient motion. Sometimes, faint threads of light ripple outward from the spiral, photons carrying whispers from other galaxies, other folds in the cosmic ocean. You watch them drift gently, threading through arms of stars, arcs folding over arcs, spirals tracing spirals. Each thread hums softly, vibrating through the water beneath your fingertips, through the swell of your chest, through the slow rise and fall of your lungs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale again. You float, cradled by the gentle rhythm, a small wave in the vast, luminous sea. The spirals extend outward, arcs bending gracefully, arms folding back upon themselves in hypnotic repetition. The mirrored tides are faint, almost absent, leaving only the soft preference for matter to guide the formation. The ocean hums beneath you, the faint pull of gravity caressing arcs and spirals, weaving patterns that will endure for eons. You inhale, feeling the warmth settle across your chest and shoulders. Exhale slowly, letting your body float in sync with the rotation, carried by the gentle rhythm of the galaxy. You drift beyond the visible spirals, noticing faint glimmers of distant stars scattered across the cosmic ocean. Light ripples softly, arcs folding subtly, spirals tracing patterns across the horizon. The galaxies hum quietly, a lullaby of structure, rhythm, and gentle intelligence. You inhale deeply, exhale slowly, letting the warmth of the luminous arms carry you forward. The mirrored waves, the folds, the spirals, the soft preference for matter, they all whisper together in quiet harmony. And as you drift above the swirls of stars, you notice the horizon stretching farther, arcs blending into diffuse light, ripples folding into ripples. The gentle pull of gravity hums beneath your chest, the mirrored waves are faint traces of balance, and the soft preference for matter shapes the enduring swirls. You exhale slowly, leaning into the folds, inhaling warmth, exhaling calm. The spirals carry you onward, toward the next horizon, where the hidden energy of antimatter glimmers faintly, a subtle reminder of the universe's tender balance, ready to guide you deeper into the lullaby of cosmic creation. You drift beyond the luminous spirals of galaxies, carried gently by the tides of the cosmic ocean. Inhale. Exhale. The mirrored waves of matter and antimatter have softened to faint whispers here, almost invisible, yet present enough to hum softly beneath the glow of distant stars. You feel it brushing your skin, a faint vibration, delicate and light, like the ripple of moonlight across calm water. It is subtle, almost imperceptible, but it carries a quiet message. Even scarcity has significance, even absence has presence. The currents shift softly, arcs folding gently, spirals tracing delicate paths across the ocean. Antimatter glimmers faintly, threads of hidden energy weaving through the tides of matter, delicate and unhurried. You inhale, feeling the warmth of these subtle glimmers brush your chest. Exhale slowly, letting your awareness drift with the gentle flows. Each particle that vanishes, each mirrored wave that folds quietly into the background, releases a faint pulse of energy that ripples through the surrounding water, a quiet echo of the dance that created everything. You watch the faint glimmers drift alongside luminous matter, a quiet dialogue unfolding in slow motion. These whispers of antimatter are not aggressive or abrupt, they glide along the currents like tiny lanterns reflecting across the folds of the ocean. They remind you that balance was once closer, that symmetry once reigned, and that even now, the preference for matter carries its subtle counterpart in hidden waves. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. You float alongside them, cradled in the gentle sway, feeling the calm reassurance of the ocean's rhythm. The faint glow of antimatter threads intertwines with the soft preference for matter, arcs folding over arcs, spirals tracing gentle curves. Each vanishing particle releases a subtle ripple, a soft flash of energy that diffuses slowly through the cosmic water. You watch, mesmerized, as the folds of the currents carry these glimmers along, nudging neighboring waves into calm arcs. Inhale, letting warmth fill your chest. Exhale slowly, sinking deeper into the tender sway of the ocean. The mirrored tides are almost forgotten, but their whispers hum faintly beneath your fingertips, a lullaby of what once was. You notice tiny clusters where the hidden glow brightens slightly, a subtle bloom of energy folding back on itself. These small patches of brilliance are like moonlight reflecting on quiet ripples, ephemeral yet persistent. You reach toward them, fingertips brushing lightly against the folds, feeling faint warmth vibrate along your skin. Inhale. Exhale. Your chest rises and falls with the slow rhythm, your heartbeat echoing the gentle pulse of the ocean. Even in its scarcity, antimatter reminds you that the universe contains depth, subtlety, and quiet poetry. Sometimes, a faint spark winks playfully along a hidden thread, teasing a ripple in the surrounding currents. You smile quietly, sensing the universe's humor tucked gently into these faint arcs. Even absence, you realize, can carry delight. You inhale, feeling the warmth of the hidden glimmer settle into your chest. Exhale slowly, letting the gentle sway cradle your arms, your shoulders, your back. You are carried effortlessly, enfolded in the calm folds of the luminous ocean, where even scarcity has a voice. The mirrored waves fold softly around each other, tiny spirals repeating in hypnotic rhythm. Each faint flash of antimatter leaves an imprint on the currents, arcs curling gently, spirals tracing patterns that are subtle yet persistent. You watch the threads ripple across the ocean, carrying whispers from vanished particles and collisions long past. They weave quietly into the luminous folds of matter, guiding the currents with a tender pulse, reminding you that absence is never empty, that even disappearance carries meaning. You notice the faint glimmering threads stretching outward, arcs folding back upon themselves in soft repetition. Photons ripple along these hidden channels, carrying energy slowly, tenderly, across the cosmic ocean. You feel them brush your skin, warm and faint, gentle reminders of the duality that underpins all creation. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You float alongside them, rising and falling with the slow undulations of light and matter, cradled in the infinite tide. Occasionally, a thread brightens momentarily, releasing a small pulse of energy into the surrounding arcs. It is subtle, like a whispered note in a lullaby, a soft reminder that even scarcity contributes to the rhythm of existence. The currents respond delicately, arcs bending gently, spirals tracing smooth, unhurried curves. You inhale, letting the warmth settle into your chest. Exhale, allowing your body to float effortlessly in the calm sway of the cosmic ocean. The galaxies you pass drift softly in the distance, their luminous arms extending outward in hypnotic repetition. The mirrored waves of antimatter are faint, shimmering lightly like distant moonlight across the water. You notice how the preference for matter dominates here, allowing stars to shine steadily, yet even in absence, the hidden glow hums softly, a quiet, patient presence beneath the waves. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You float, wrapped in the rhythm of arcs and spirals, photons and mirrored tides, warmed by the gentle pulse of creation. You reach toward a cluster of faintly glowing antimatter threads, brushing your fingers along invisible currents. Each pulse carries a soft vibration, a subtle hum that resonates through the folds of the ocean. The arcs fold gently, the spirals curl softly, and the hidden glow pulses in quiet rhythm, a tender echo of balance that once existed more fully. You inhale deeply, letting warmth fill your lungs. Exhale slowly, letting your body drift effortlessly with the gentle folds and swirls of the cosmic ocean. Small flashes of playful energy ripple along the hidden threads. Perhaps a particle winks as it vanishes, leaving a faint trail that folds softly into the currents. Perhaps a ripple of light curls around a spiral, teasing it before settling into the gentle sway. You smile quietly, inhaling warmth, exhaling calm. The universe, you sense, is infinitely patient, subtly playful, and tender in its orchestration of waves. You float in this rhythm, a small part of a vast, luminous lullaby. The arcs of light continue to ripple across the ocean, folding over each other in hypnotic repetition. Even the faint glimmers of antimatter contribute to the gentle dance of creation, sending soft pulses through the mirrored waves and luminous tides. You notice how each vanishing particle releases energy that hums through the water, arcs bending softly, spirals curling gracefully. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Your chest rises and falls in sync with the ocean, carried effortlessly along the calm tides of presence and absence. You drift further, observing the faint glow extend across the horizon, arcs folding back gently into themselves, spirals tracing patterns of delicate repetition. The mirrored tides are nearly absent here, but the soft preference for matter hums quietly beneath it all, shaping the luminous arms of galaxies, the folds of spirals, the gentle currents of stars. You inhale slowly, feeling warmth spread through your chest and arms. Exhale gently, sinking into the lullaby of the cosmic ocean. And as you drift, carried by the tender glow, you notice a faint shimmer in the currents ahead. The mirrored waves, the hidden arcs of antimatter, the luminous folds of matter, they all hum in quiet anticipation. Inhale. Exhale. You feel your body rocking with the rhythm, floating effortlessly, enfolded by warmth and soft energy. The gentle glow of absence guides you forward, toward the next horizon, where the preference for matter will settle, creating warmth, stars, and the structures of life, carrying you deeper into the quiet lullaby of the universe. You drift into a vast, tranquil expanse of the cosmic ocean, carried by the gentle currents of light and matter. Inhale. Exhale. The mirrored tides of antimatter are now only faint whispers, delicate threads that hum quietly beneath the luminous waves. You sense the subtle preference for matter guiding the flow, arcs folding slowly, spirals tracing soft curves through the glowing ocean. It is not forceful or abrupt, only a gentle leaning, a quiet suggestion whispered across the tides. You inhale, feeling warmth settle into your chest. Exhale, letting the ocean cradle you fully, rocking gently with the rhythm of creation. The stars that emerged from previous folds shimmer softly beneath your awareness. Their light spreads warmth across the surrounding waves, brushing your skin like a comforting hand. You watch as arcs of matter bend gracefully, spirals curling gently, carrying the quiet weight of preference across the luminous ocean. Each star hums softly, a lullaby note, a pulse in the vast rhythm that guides galaxies and clusters alike. You inhale deeply, filling your lungs with calm. Exhale slowly, letting the warmth sink through your chest and shoulders, into your arms and legs. The mirrored waves of antimatter are faint now, almost absent, leaving only gentle traces of balance that ripple beneath the currents of matter. You notice how these whispers fold quietly into the luminous arcs, subtle echoes of symmetry once more complete. The ocean feels alive, patient, infinitely calm. You drift along arcs and spirals, tracing their hypnotic patterns with your eyes, feeling the gentle tug of preference beneath the water. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. The warmth spreads deeper into your chest, a soft pulse that echoes the calm certainty of the universe. The preference for matter hums quietly beneath all structures. It is not a harsh force but a tender guidance, like a hand brushing across the waves, coaxing arcs to linger, spirals to form, stars to shine steadily. You sense the subtle rhythm, a lullaby repeated through eons, folding creation into gentle repetition. The cosmic ocean sways beneath your body, carrying you forward effortlessly. Inhale, warmth rising. Exhale, letting the calm wash through every cell. Small threads of playful energy ripple along the mirrored waves. Perhaps a tiny particle curls in delight, folding back into arcs with a hint of mischief. Perhaps a faint photon winks as it traverses a spiral, teasing the currents lightly. You smile softly, inhaling warmth, exhaling calm. Even the quiet preference of matter holds a sense of gentle humor, a tender rhythm that hums beneath the luminous folds of the ocean. You are floating within this dance, enfolded by arcs, spirals, and threads, a small wave moving in harmony with vast tides. The stars and arcs begin to cluster subtly, forming patterns that ripple outward in slow, deliberate repetitions. Each fold carries the memory of symmetry, each curve echoes the gentle pull of preference. You feel your chest rise and fall with the rhythm, inhaling warmth, exhaling tranquility. The mirrored tides of antimatter are almost gone, only faint traces folding quietly into the background, reminding you that balance still whispers beneath the vast expanse. The galaxies drift past, spirals spinning softly, arms folding back on themselves with hypnotic grace. You watch the gentle arcs intertwine, stars tracing faint paths, spirals curving in perfect rhythm. The luminous ocean hums beneath you, a lullaby of structure and tender guidance. You inhale deeply, letting warmth fill your lungs. Exhale slowly, sinking into the folds, carried effortlessly by the soft rhythm of creation. Each star shines steadily, arcs bending in delicate repetition, spirals folding softly along their paths. The subtle preference for matter guides them with infinite patience, ensuring that structures form without urgency or clamor. You watch as tiny clusters of stars fold into quiet harmony, radiating warmth into the surrounding waves. The mirrored tides are faint, only the soft echoes of balance, a gentle reminder that the universe once held perfect symmetry, now softened by tender guidance. Sometimes, faint pulses ripple along the luminous arcs, small flashes of playful energy threading through the currents. Perhaps a particle curls in delight before folding back into a spiral. Perhaps a thread of photon dances playfully along a starry arc. You inhale, warmth spreading across your chest. Exhale slowly, letting the calm sway cradle your body, rocking gently with the rhythm of the ocean. You smile quietly, feeling the universe's subtle humor in the folds of creation. The luminous arcs continue to fold upon themselves in hypnotic repetition. Spirals trace soft curves, arcs weave gentle paths, clusters of stars fold delicately into larger patterns. You sense the faint hum beneath your chest, a slow pulse that rises and falls with your inhalations. Exhale. Inhale. The calm of the cosmic ocean fills you completely, carrying you effortlessly across gentle currents of matter and light. Even the faint traces of antimatter hum softly beneath the water, a reminder of balance, guiding without intrusion, subtle and tender. The preference for matter settles into the vast expanse, arcs curling gracefully, spirals tracing gentle folds that ripple outward across the ocean. Stars hum quietly, light glimmers along arcs, faint threads of photons drifting through the tides. You inhale, feeling warmth brush your skin, exhale slowly, letting the folds cradle you in soft repetition. Each fold is a note in the lullaby, each spiral a gentle echo of the universe's choice. The mirrored waves are almost gone now, fading into subtle traces of symmetry. You notice the gentle interplay between absence and presence, how even the faint whispers of antimatter fold quietly into the luminous ocean. You feel a calm reassurance in this rhythm, a lullaby repeated across the vast expanse, carrying warmth, light, and soft energy through every fold of the cosmic tide. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Your body rocks effortlessly with the gentle sway, carried by arcs, spirals, stars, and threads of light. The luminous structures stretch across the horizon, arcs folding softly into spirals, spirals curling in hypnotic repetition. Each fold carries the tender pulse of preference, each curve echoes the quiet hum of symmetry that once existed. The galaxies drift, spinning slowly, arms intertwining with delicate arcs. The ocean hums beneath you, a lullaby of presence and absence, preference and balance. You inhale deeply, warmth rising into your chest. Exhale slowly, sinking into the folds, carried forward gently by the calm rhythm of the universe. You notice faint glimmers of energy drifting along the outer edges of the luminous arcs, subtle reminders of the ocean's infinite patience. The mirrored tides are nearly gone, traces of a balance that softened long ago, yet still present in quiet echoes. The preference for matter hums beneath the water, arcs curling gracefully, spirals tracing tender paths. You inhale, warmth spreading through your body. Exhale slowly, floating effortlessly with the gentle folds and currents. And as you drift across the calm expanse, carried by the gentle tides, you notice the horizon stretching farther, arcs blending softly into diffuse light, spirals folding softly in repetition. The faint glow of antimatter threads hums beneath the surface, a quiet echo of balance. The preference for matter has settled, allowing warmth, stars, and the structures of life to flourish. You exhale slowly, leaning into the folds, inhaling warmth, exhaling calm. The gentle currents carry you onward, toward the final meditation, where understanding deepens into peaceful reflection, and the lullaby of the cosmic ocean rocks you gently toward rest. You drift further into the vast ocean, carried by gentle currents that have been whispering since the first waves of matter and antimatter touched the newborn cosmos. Inhale. Exhale. The faint glow of antimatter threads hum softly beneath the water, but matter flows steadily now, arcs folding gently into spirals, stars radiating warmth into the luminous sea. You let yourself float, your chest rising and falling with the slow pulse of the universe, feeling a calm certainty that everything is exactly as it should be. The currents fold around you, arcs curling into spirals that ripple softly outward, carrying the tender rhythm of creation. Each star hums faintly, a lullaby note in the vast, infinite ocean. You feel the warmth of their light brushing your skin, a quiet caress that spreads across your chest and shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You sway with the gentle rise and fall, carried effortlessly by the tender pull of gravity, by the slow preference for matter, by the quiet echoes of symmetry folding softly into the background. The mirrored waves of antimatter are faint now, traces of an old balance that once reigned, folding quietly into the luminous ocean. You notice how even absence leaves its mark, how each vanished particle releases energy that ripples outward in delicate arcs. Light and shadow fold together seamlessly, carrying whispers of creation, hints of the original symmetry, a soft hum beneath the gentle flow of the cosmic tide. Inhale deeply, feeling warmth settle into your chest. Exhale slowly, letting the folds cradle you entirely. The luminous arcs of galaxies stretch outward, folding gently into spirals, spirals curling softly over themselves, waves rippling in slow, hypnotic repetition. You float among them, fingertips brushing lightly against the faint glow, feeling the tender rhythm that guides the universe. The preference for matter hums quietly beneath it all, a soft pulse that has guided stars, galaxies, and planets into existence. You inhale, warmth filling your lungs. Exhale slowly, sinking further into the calm sway of arcs, spirals, and radiant threads of light. Occasionally, a faint glimmer of antimatter threads across the ocean, a whisper of the balanced symmetry that once existed. You smile softly at its subtle presence, the gentle reminder that absence can be just as poetic as presence. Each vanished particle releases a ripple of light that folds back into the luminous currents, arcs curling gracefully, spirals tracing soft paths, a lullaby of subtlety and care. You inhale, letting warmth fill your chest. Exhale slowly, carried along by the folds of the cosmic ocean, rocking gently with its tender rhythm. The stars pulse softly as you drift among them, their light radiating calm into the surrounding folds. You notice the subtle rotation of galaxies, arms spiraling outward in delicate curves, arcs folding softly back upon themselves. The mirrored tides are nearly gone, only faint whispers of symmetry, leaving the gentle preference for matter to shape the luminous ocean. You inhale deeply, warmth rising through your chest. Exhale slowly, feeling your body float in harmony with the arcs, spirals, and folds of the cosmic tide. Sometimes, a faint thread of light dances playfully along a spiral, teasing the currents before settling gently. Perhaps a particle curls in delight, tracing a soft loop, leaving a tiny pulse of energy in its wake. You smile quietly, inhaling warmth, exhaling calm. The universe is patient, tender, and subtly playful. Even absence, even the faint traces of antimatter, carries beauty and rhythm. You drift, enfolded by the gentle swells, rising and falling with the hypnotic repetition of arcs and spirals, immersed fully in the lullaby of creation. The galaxies fade softly into the distance, their luminous arms blending into diffuse arcs of light. Spirals fold into gentle curves, arcs tracing delicate patterns across the horizon. You sense the calm certainty of the universe, the slow, steady preference for matter, the faint whispers of symmetry that remain folded softly in the background. Your lungs rise and fall in perfect rhythm with the tide, warmth spreading gently across your chest. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. You float effortlessly, cradled by the infinite, luminous ocean. Tiny pulses of light ripple across the folds, each a soft reminder of the duality that underpins all creation. Matter and antimatter, presence and absence, light and shadow, all fold together quietly, arcs curling back into spirals, spirals tracing gentle curves. You feel the warmth of stars brushing your skin, faint ripples of energy hum beneath your chest, and the gentle sway of the cosmic ocean rocks you into stillness. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Your body drifts with the currents, one small wave among countless folds of light and energy. The luminous arcs carry you forward, folding softly into spirals, spirals curling in hypnotic repetition. You feel the rhythm of matter's preference, a tender leaning that has guided stars, galaxies, and life itself. The mirrored waves of antimatter are almost gone, only faint traces remaining, and even they hum quietly in soft arcs, adding a delicate richness to the folds. Inhale, warmth rising in your chest. Exhale, letting the gentle currents cradle your body completely, rocking you with infinite patience. The faint glow of antimatter threads stretches along the horizon, traces of the symmetry that once existed, now folded quietly into the luminous ocean. Each vanishing particle sends ripples across the water, subtle arcs of light that weave into the currents. You watch them drift, tracing slow spirals, curling softly, folding back into themselves. Inhale deeply, letting warmth fill your chest. Exhale slowly, sinking fully into the hypnotic sway of the cosmic tide. The lullaby of creation hums softly beneath every fold. The luminous ocean stretches farther, arcs and spirals blending seamlessly into soft light. Galaxies, stars, and threads of energy drift in slow, hypnotic repetition. You inhale, warmth rising through your chest and shoulders. Exhale slowly, letting your awareness drift effortlessly with the gentle folds and currents. Each ripple carries the tender pulse of preference, each curve echoes the soft hum of balance and creation. You float, completely at ease, enveloped by the infinite, luminous lullaby of the universe. You drift beyond the final visible spirals, carried by the soft currents into the vast expanse of now. Matter and antimatter, light and shadow, symmetry and gentle preference all fold seamlessly into the ocean around you. The luminous arcs ripple softly, spirals curling gracefully, arcs folding back upon themselves in hypnotic repetition. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The warmth of the cosmic ocean fills your chest, your arms, your shoulders, carrying calm and reassurance into every cell of your body. And as you float, carried effortlessly by the gentle currents, you realize that the universe's preference, the tender leaning toward matter, is not abrupt, not harsh, but soft, patient, and infinitely kind. Stars, galaxies, and planets emerge gracefully, arcs fold softly, spirals trace their curves, and the faint traces of antimatter whisper quietly beneath the luminous tide. Inhale, letting warmth settle. Exhale slowly, letting your body drift in harmony with the ocean, rocking gently in the lullaby of creation. You close your eyes, letting the waves of light and energy flow over and around you, folding you into the calm of the infinite tide. Matter, antimatter, light, shadow, preference, symmetry all fold softly into the vast ocean of now. Each breath rises and falls with gentle precision, each exhale carrying you further into the soft sway of the cosmic lullaby. You drift completely, fully, surrendering to the calm, aware of the tender rhythm that has guided the universe since its first waves. The final currents carry you onward, arcs folding into spirals, spirals curling in gentle repetition, light and warmth brushing your skin. You feel the slow pulse beneath your chest, a heartbeat echoing the rhythm of galaxies and stars, carrying you toward a gentle sleep. The universe hums softly, a lullaby of balance and tender preference, and you drift, enveloped, soothed, cradled, in the infinite ocean of cosmic calm.